OH.
I-O.
There it is. Let's bring that back. We didn't do that for a while, so let's get that going once more. So what's going on, Scott? How you doing today, buddy?
What day is today?
Today is Monday night. That means it's another episode of Hill Talk Sports with TJ Hill and Scott Kennison, coming to you live from Ohio.
In that case, it's a great day. But my daughter has decided that she is going to sleep from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., no matter what we try to do to wake her up. And then she's going to be awake from 11 p.m. until about 8:30 a.m.
It's all part of the phase you have to go through with kids, man. Like, my youngest is in the cry about everything phase right now. So I'm waiting until she turns, like, older to get out of that phase where I can just go stop. And she goes, okay. So I'm getting there because some days is better than other days. But most days is I'm crying because my crayon broke type stuff.
I mean, I'm not rushing her out of this phase. She's not old enough yet to tell me that she hates me and that I've ruined her life. And, you know.
I mean, you might not get that far. It might not happen. You might have a daughter where, Daddy, I love you, appreciate everything you do for me. You never know. You know,
I expect that'll happen, but at some point I'll also get the I hate you, you've ruined my life, you're the worst daddy ever.
And then she'll love you.
Yes.
But anyways, let's jump into the topics of tonight. The name of this episode is Buyer's Remorse, and it's for a reason. Because I do feel like a lot of fans that were on the Watson bandwagon have not necessarily jumped off, but are very much worried about the future of our quote-unquote franchise quarterback.
Can't imagine why.
I guess some more information is coming out, and the NFL, this is a report I saw today. They didn't say what it was, but the NFL wants to meet with him again. They just met with him last week. They want to see him again. So I'm waiting for the ball to drop on that to see what exactly they want to talk to him about. You're getting two sides to the story. I hear people saying that they're not going to do any kind of discipline until all the cases are settled or all the cases are done. And that means, if that is true, that means he'll play this season. Now, I'm also hearing that the NFL wants to meet with him to decide what discipline, if any, right now will occur. And I'm hearing that information may come as soon as June or July if they decide to suspend them now. So let's go with the scenario of them suspending him now. 8 games, 10 games, whatever the case may be. A year, 2 years, who knows? If they suspend him now and Baker's still on the team, what do you do with Baker? Now, Baker is not coming to OTAs next week. He's not coming. But then again, he's still rehabbing too. We got to throw that factor in there. Baker's not ready to throw yet. So let's go with, if Baker was ready to throw, do you have him come to OTAs?
No.
Okay. Now, that's without knowing if you have Deshaun or not, correct?
That's correct. If as long as I believe I'm going to have Deshaun, then I don't want Baker Mayfield anywhere near this team.
Now,
he can hold in or phantom injury.
We're going to be stuck no matter what with our backup, because if he does get suspended in July, it's too late to be a breaker in. You got the first preseason game in August. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, but how much of the OTAs does Baker Mayfield need at this point? The OTAs are going to be, if he's training, if he's keeping himself ready to play, how much of the OTAs does a guy in his 5th year need?
But in July, we're in camp now. So you missed a camp too.
Yeah.
He's not coming to camp.
I mean, how much of camp does he need? How much camp does he need?
I
It's
mean,
more
there
about
might be
training and camp
significant,
and stuff.
but the playbook's changed somewhat, so you need to be there for that.
He can study the playbook via email.
It's a bad movie the way you look at it, Scott.
Look,
Either way you look at this, is a
if
bad
I
movie.
know
And
in June that Deshaun Watson is gone, then I need Baker here immediately because he's got to start repairing his relationship with certain teammates, and he's got to get in to take the lead. Because I don't want Dobbs or Brissett trying to lead this team to the playoffs. We talked about that a lot last week. And Baker Mayfield, for everyone who says what's his motivation to play, his contract next year he's going to get a contract next year. It's going to be crappy compared to what it could be if it's based off of 2021. But if Baker goes out and balls out next year and has a Nick Folk type of season, okay, and goes 12-5, 13-4, 11-6,
you there,
then
buddy?
Baker Mayfield might
Skipping a little
have
bit.
doubled the amount of money that he can make.
All right. We are frozen now. This is live internet. So things happen all the time, then we freeze. Scott, you may want to jump out there and come back in, buddy.
T,
All
can
right.
you hear
I
me
think
now?
what Scott was trying to say. Now I hear you. There you go,
Okay.
buddy. How you
Yeah,
doing?
I don't know what
Welcome
happened.
back.
Baker Mayfield's
You're
motivation
frozen
to
still, but I
play.
hear you.
Baker Mayfield's motivation to play is to double his salary, potentially. I mean, it could be that much of what he gets paid to if he goes out and balls out.
Yeah, I think you. Here's the thing about Baker. I think Baker will ball out this year, regardless of where he's at, because Baker's the kind of guy that wants to prove that he's worthy, and I think that. But if he goes to somewhere else, Carolina is going to try to go out there and ball out to prove to the Cleveland fans and to himself, really, that I was always this good. You just got rid of me before you got a chance to shine. So, did I lose you again, Scott? There you are, buddy.
Yeah, I had to leave and come back.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It happens. Things happen all the time.
Here,
What's that?
Here, but right here. I'm not a weatherman. I feel like I got a mark on my face right here. It looks like I like Tommy Boy.
No, you're fine, buddy. You look fine. Like I was saying, I don't know if you heard me or not. I think Baker's going to ball out no matter where he's at. For a simple fact is he himself and to the league that he is that quarterback, and the Browns gave up on him too early. I think when it's all said and done, unless Deshaun, I can't even say unless Deshaun is not suspended, because we got to remember Deshaun Watson does not play good in cold weather. He hasn't so far. So what's going to change now?
Well, I can tell you that if
the fact it's not a factorsness. He has Nick Chubb. You there?
Yeah, no, I was going to say that. Are you saying that they might not play him late in the season if the weather's cold?
Jesus Christ, I can't hear you. Say that one more time, Scott.
I said, are you saying that they might not play him late in the season because the weather's cold and he struggles in cold weather, and that they might keep Baker to start those games?
No, I'm not saying they keep Baker for that reason. I think the only reason they keep Baker and play Baker is if Deshaun gets suspended, because I do believe he is the best option with the quarterback room they have currently if Deshaun Watson has to sit. But here's the problem. If Deshaun plays this year and then gets suspended next year, you don't have anybody back him up, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're planning on who your backup quarterback is going to be to win, you've made a mistake. And that's why I'll say the Browns have made a mistake right now for this year, because they jumped all in on this contract without knowing if this guy's ever going to play in the National Football League again. You never want to be in a point where you're really caring who your backup quarterback is. If you get to your backup quarterback, shit's on fire. And it's crashing. I'm not concerned if Deshaun gets suspended next year. Because if Deshaun gets suspended next year, they're done anyway. Am I frozen again, T?
We are having technical difficulties again. There we go. You're back, Scott.
For how long?
No audio there, buddy. There you go. All right, cool. Um, it's a problem that's gonna continue to bug us. It's a problem that's gonna continue to bug us back and forth because it's just that we don't know what the future is gonna bring for Deshaun at all.
Yeah, this is why you have the buyer's remorse. Okay, T,
Exactly.
you said you're screwed in 2023 if he's suspended because Baker's gone anyway. You're screwed if Deshaun Watson is suspended anything past 2022. You're screwed anyway because you invested $230 million in the guy, and that means that if he's not here, you're going rotating veteran quarterback trying to find his way back in the league or new draft pick until that contract is over. Either Deshaun Watson is going to play. The only way this works is if Deshaun Watson plays and plays better than Baker Mayfield can play. Otherwise, this was a terrible move. And to be honest with you, he has to be more than just better than Baker Mayfield. He has to be better than Baker Mayfield, plus what you could have done with the money that you paid Deshaun Watson that you didn't pay Baker Mayfield. He has to be a top 5 quarterback. He has to be that guy.
I agree.
And I know Deshaun Watson has a ton of upside. And I know that we think Deshaun Watson is a top 5 guy. But we're really assuming that without actually knowing that he can do that year in and year out. And that's my concern with this contract. You gave this guy a contract like you know that he's going to be Russell Wilson every year. You gave him a contract like you know he's the reincarnation of Tom Brady. And you don't know that.
No, you don't.
You gave him, I'm going to be honest with you about this. Throw the lawsuits aside. Throw MassageGate aside. I don't like guaranteeing a man $230 million who honestly hasn't proven to me that he should be the only player in the history of the league he hasn't proven to me that he's worth that money. I don't think that the book is closed on what Deshaun Watson is. Okay. I've seen lots of quarterbacks come in that people think are going to be the best in the league for years upon years upon years. Andrew Luck was one of them. Andrew Luck wouldn't have been worth a $230 million guaranteed contract over 5 years. Who's worth that much money, honestly? Even if you look at everything they've done in their career. What we got, 2-3 guys?
Possibly, yeah.
I don't like this. I don't like the guaranteed money, all of it guaranteed for 5 years. If all of this other stuff isn't there, I've got buyer's remorse after this. There's a reason they got him back. Because all Atlanta had to do was say, okay, we'll do that too. And Atlanta said, you think we're stupid?
Let's compare the two right now, stat-wise, real quick. So Baker played 4 years. Deshaun played 4 years. Actually, Deshaun been in the league 5 years. Didn't play last year because he sat out. So in 4 years, Baker has a percentage of 61.6%. He has 14,125 yards, 92 touchdowns, 56 interceptions, a rating of 87.8. Deshaun has a percentage of 67.8, 14,539 yards, 104 touchdowns, 36 picks, rating of 104.5. So stat-wise, yes, he is better. But let's factor in all the different stuff. Deshaun's played on a sucky-ass team for years. Baker has also. So Baker really hasn't had the team around him until recently to shine. Now, in 2020, he had 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. 2021, he had 17 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. His best year so far was in 2020 for everything that year clicked for him. But again, it's his 3rd year. Baker seems to thrive in the odd number years. First year, 2018, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks, 93.7. he has better years in the odd years. Now, last year he got injured and still had 81.3% rating. Baker Mayfield's not a horrible quarterback.
No.
I like Baker Mayfield. I like him. Would I have been happy with him keeping Baker Mayfield for this year, healthy and running it back? Yes. Do I think Deshaun overall is a better athlete? Yes. The jury's still out on the quarterback thing. A lot of people argue with me and say, yes, I'm wrong. He's a better quarterback. But they're very compatible in stats with 4 years apiece. Baker's only like 400 yards behind in passing.
Maybe Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback. Let's just say he's a better quarterback. Let's just throw that out there. Okay. It seems to be the consensus. Here's the real question I'm going to ask you. Are you better off with Deshaun Watson in 2024? Do you want to have Deshaun Watson and just Deshaun Watson, or do you want to be able to have Deshaun Watson, Kareem Hunt, another wide receiver the caliber of Jarvis Landry or better, and Jadeveon Clowney, and maybe a better defensive tackle? Or would you rather have
24?
Right. Do you want Deshaun Watson in 2024, 2 years from now? Do you want Deshaun Watson only, or do you want Baker Mayfield plus Kareem Hunt plus Jadeveon Clowney plus an upgraded defensive tackle? I get what you're saying. Jadeveon Clowney, Baker Mayfield was going to cost you what, $100 million to extend for 5 years? 120? Is Deshaun Watson $110 to $120 million over 5 years better than Baker Mayfield in the win-loss column? And quite honestly, the career numbers don't add that out. I'm going to say this. Cleveland doesn't want to hear. Baker Mayfield is an average to above average NFL quarterback. Average to above average NFL quarterbacks can and have won Super Bowls far more often than you think.
Flacco.
Nick Folk.
I have been saying that and having that argument with people since Baker came into the league, that Baker is average to slightly above average. He's not elite. Yep. I don't think he'll ever get there to elite, the elite status, the Aaron Rodgers and the Russell Wilsons. I don't think he'll get there. But he can win a Super Bowl.
When you're in cap hell in 24 and 25, you come back and ask yourself if Deshaun Watson was worth those 4 or 5 extra quality players.
He said cap hell.
Yes. You are in trouble in 24 and 25 because Deshaun Watson's going to have to win these games a lot on his own in those years, and you better hope that he can. That's a handful of decent players that you're not going to have. It can either affect depth. It can affect, you're going to have to get rid of some skill position players that you're not going to want to get rid of because of this contract.
We're not going to have Clowney after next year. You agree with that?
Yeah.
We're not going to
I'm amazed I got him back this year. No.
Well, I'm not.
You're going to lose Kareem Hunt.
That's happening no matter what.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of baffled, because remember we talked about how they drafted a running back in this draft, and I'm like, why are you getting a running back? Who are you about to get rid of?
Is anybody happy the Browns got rid of Troy Hill this offseason and let him go? I mean, it's a smart decision. Listen, it's a smart decision. But if you roll with Baker Mayfield, Troy Hill can still be on your team as good depth at cornerback. So, again, we're not asking the right question. Is Deshaun Watson better than Baker Mayfield? Yes. Is the opportunity cost of the extra money that you paid Deshaun Watson worth the benefit that you're going to get, the value over replacement that you're going to get for him over Baker Mayfield? And while I'm very sure that the answer is a clear yes, Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback, I am not very sure that Deshaun Watson is so much better that this money that they paid him and the players that they're going to lose for this contract offset that. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong.
Deshaun, 5 years, $230. You got Myles Garrett, 5 years, 125. He's done 27. Denzel Ward's here to 28. He got over $100 million also. Cooper, 5 years, 100 million. He's done 25. Teller's 56.8. He's done 26. Antonio's done 26. Cochran's done 23. Nick Chubb, 2025. Now you paying Nick Chubb $36 million.
Yep.
Is it the position?
It's the position.
It's a position, okay. Because receivers getting a lot of money.
Well, because here's the thing. As a running back, you're done by 29. At 29, if you're still productive as a running back at 29, you're ancient.
Yes.
Most running backs, it's people, this is people come at me like this when I say like 6'1" quarterbacks generally aren't successful. Yes, I know Drew Brees and Russell Wilson are the exception to the rules. And Baker Mayfield is sub 6'2". But in general, sub 6'2" quarterbacks do not make it in the NFL. In general, with rare exceptions like Curtis Martin and Adrian Peterson, once you hit 30, you're done. You're old. The position has taken such a toll on you that no matter how good you were at 27 or 26, 90% of running backs are done at 30. You have a very short window to be a good running back.
More issues. Njoku, if he balls out, you got to pay him too.
Yep. The good thing about the Cleveland Browns is, listen to what you said. Most of your offensive line, the core of your offensive line, your number one wide receiver, your number one cornerback, your best defensive end in the league, and your franchise quarterback are locked up through 2025 or 2026. And your running back. You're maybe best in the league running back. So The great news about the Browns is you've locked all these starters up at key positions, which means if you can draft well, and if you can find some people on the free agent scrap heap in short 1 and 2 year contracts, then yes, you can afford this contract with Deshaun Watson. But every single one of those guys that you paid big money to, Cooper, Ward, Chubb, the offensive line, Watson, they have to then, Garrett, stay healthy, be on the field, and play. Because you don't have the money to go invest in quality depth at this point. And you're going to have to be right on everyone that you pick up. And you're going to have to hope that the talent that you have is so great that it can overcome the fact that you're going to be a little thin at some of these other positions as you round out depth. I mean, look, is there great news ahead for the Browns? Absolutely. Deshaun Watson has to play, and he has to play well. And I'm not saying that I don't think he's going to play well. I'm not rooting for Deshaun Watson to fail. I want to see a Super Bowl in this town, okay? And I want him to play. But the question that we're asking has been oversimplified. And me being a risk-averse person, I don't know if I think that there's enough information out there that tells me that the Browns are better in the long run, even in the near-term short run, after 2025 for this signing.
You know, you Cleveland fans get optimistic about how our sports teams are. We make a big signing, we get all excited and stuff, and then something like this happens. And it's a thing that happens pretty much all the time with us, where we get all high and mighty about what's going to happen. Oh, Super Bowl, Super Browns, whatever. And then something else happens. Now, we knew going into this that there may be an issue with Deshaun as far as his legal troubles. They got him anyway. The problem is they guarantee him 230. That pisses everybody in the league off, because now what you're doing is, as the president's saying for other teams, well, guess what I want now? Well, Deshaun got 230 and he was in trouble with the law. I'm a clean guy that doesn't get in trouble with the law at all. I want 240 guaranteed. Now you put other owners in the bind. So with that, you have all the owners pissed off at the Browns for making that move. And the Browns, there's no way they did their due diligence, because if they did that, the text message to his massage therapist would have been out earlier.
They didn't do the due diligence because they didn't have access to everything. Stuff's being held back for discovery.
She wasn't even licensed.
There's stuff. They couldn't have done their due diligence. And I mean, listen, this is Jimmy Haslam. This is the guy of the pilot flying J controversy, okay? Jimmy thinks due diligence is, hey, Deshaun, did you do it? No, Jimmy, no. We did my due diligence.
Let's go. Here's the thing, though. Don't NFL teams have their own masseuses?
Well, they do, but
exactly. So
it's
you're
gonna
going
be
to see all these different people to get massages done, where you can go to your team facility and get it for free.
Well, because what you're going to get at your team facility, you're going to get a massage at your team facility. You're not going to get a massage at your team facility.
So the best thing for Deshaun Watson to do is pay and be done.
No, he pays. He will never. If Deshaun Watson settles with these 22 women, he will never play another down in the NFL.
He is going to have to settle something.
Listen, I don't know if we talked about this last week or not, or if I had this argument at my softball game. This is what I think is going to happen. As more of these depositions come out, as more of these text messages come out, it's going to look worse and worse for Deshaun Watson. And it's going to look, he committed, it seems to me like it's going to look like he committed an offense. Is it going to be, you know what? I'm just going to rephrase it. He committed an offense. Okay. It's going to come out. It's going to look bad. And it's going to eventually become pretty self-evident to everybody that Deshaun Watson was aggressively pursuing certain things that went beyond the massage. And some of these women weren't down for it. And when they weren't down for it, Deshaun Watson kind of tried to force the issue a little bit and either walked up to the line or went past the line, thinking that if he just initiated it, it would continue to happen. And I think that's going to come out. When that comes out, and it looks like that, even if there's not enough to convict this man, because it doesn't seem that there is, the NFL is going to be in a public relations nightmare. Because the minute he takes a snap, every single women's rights group in the country rightfully is going to be going after the NFL sponsors to get them to stop advertising. And those companies are going to come under so much pressure that they will stop advertising. There comes a point where the public outcry, they become so scared of that they stop, they cave because they can't lose those advertisers. The advertisers say, I'm going to pull my advertisement from this product because I can't support ethically what's going on. We're in an environment where, look, CEOs on boards are doing things called environmental and social governance, where shareholders and board members are demanding that companies do things that look good from a green energy or a social responsibility standpoint, even if it impacts profit. And they're doing it. This is where we're in the point of doing, and hey, this is great. Doing the right and moral thing at the expense of profit can be something that's expected of a business. And the NFL is going to come under immense pressure like it has never seen before the minute he settles with these women, because the settlement is going to be seen as an admission. I think what's going to happen is Deshaun Watson is going to be suspended for a good part of this season or all of this season, pending the outcome of the trials. And when he settles or when he loses one of those civil trials, his career will be over. The NFL will say, we cannot support this behavior. We cannot condone this behavior. We cannot have this associated with the league. We do not support this. That'll be the official story. The behind-the-scenes story will be, sorry, Deshaun, it's too costly to let you ever snap a ball in the NFL, to play a snap in the NFL again.
If that does happen,
I think that's how this ends.
If that does happen, from a player standpoint, it's bad for the Browns, but from a money standpoint, it's good.
Do they get the money back if that happens? Because I thought it was fully guaranteed no matter what.
If you're out of the league, he's not in the league. He can't pay him if he's out of the league.
I don't think that's how that goes.
I think this is a fully guaranteed contract. If he's out of the league, he should not be getting that money if he's out of the league.
I think that's what the difference of fully guaranteed contract is.
I got to look at that more, man. Double check that, because I think if you're totally out of the league and not a member of the league anymore, you shouldn't be getting paid. Now, if he's injured, it's a different story. But if you're out of the league totally, not involved in the league anymore, that should nullify the contract or what's left of it anyway. But let's get on to another story, shall we? Let's talk about the NBA real fast here. So we got the conference finals going on right now. Right now we have Miami leading the series against Boston 2-1. But right now in the first quarter of the game 4, it is Boston with a 26-8 lead. If Boston loses this game, they deserve to get swept the rest of the way. You're up 26-8 right now at the end of the first quarter. If you lose this game to Miami, the momentum all switch to Miami now.
And they probably will. And they will get swept if they do that.
You should. Absolutely. That should be done. So on the other flip side, we have Golden State doing Golden State things. As you talked about last week, we were talking about how Golden State's gonna. Didn't you say they were gonna sweep them?
I said they were gonna win it. I didn't say they're gonna sweep them, but
I mean,
it looks like they're about to do that.
It's looking that way right now, Scott. It's looking that way right now. They're not playing around right now. Like Golden State's doing the thing. Seriously, they're looking really good right now.
They are really good. I just realized something. The Cavs would have won 4 titles in the second LeBron James era if it wasn't for the Golden State Warriors. There was no team coming to beat the Cavs if the Golden State Warriors don't come out of nowhere. And then when they got him anyway in the second year, they went and rented Kevin Durant because it took Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson to beat LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. And the Cavs would have been this team we're talking about because Kyrie Irving's starting to realize he never should have left Cleveland, by the way. But Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, LeBron James, that team would have been stockpiling championships. LeBron doesn't leave after 2018. And it's a different NBA. It's LeBron James's NBA.
We're playing right now tonight.
Yep.
We're playing right now tonight. We're playing against Boston.
Absolutely.
Right now, most likely.
Absolutely. But the Golden State Warriors showed the way a team really needs to be built. And people took note. Because the Golden State Warriors, every other team got stuck in, I'll say it again, cap hell. The Cavs were stuck in cap hell. Always. You knew when they came back second time and it was Irving, Love, and James, that was it. You didn't have the ability to go get somebody else. You either had to find someone in a trade, a free agent, an old guy who wanted to play for the league minimum, who has a renaissance of his career. Golden State has had the ability to go get people. They got Andrew Wiggins on their team. The Cavs didn't have the ability to go get an Andrew Wiggins. They had to trade him to get Kevin Love. Golden State figured out a way to smartly manage that cap and their contracts, and they made decisions, and it is something that I believe the Cavs are trying to copy right now.
I think they're doing a pretty good job of it. I mean, I see a bright future for the Cavs. I think next year they do make the playoffs. I'm not sure how deep they will go, but I think next year they actually get a spot, whether it's I think they get a 6, 7, or 8 spot next year. Depending on how they play, though. But again, they could have had a top 4 seed this year had it been for all the injuries. Because the All-Star break, they were like, what, second place?
Team gets healthy. They add someone in the free agent market. Hell, if Ricky Rubio doesn't go down, they might have been in the top 4. The Rubio replaced by Rondo was a good replacement, but I don't think people are realizing how big of a change losing Ricky Rubio was for this team when he went down.
Yeah. That's rough, man. Okay, so I think
Golden State wins another title this year, by the way.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Because
they might three-peat again. They may just go win 3 more. I don't know if they ever actually three-peated, but they might go win 3 in a row here.
Damn you, Scott. Yeah, that's rough. It's rough right now for
They're a great team. I want to hate them, but they are a great team. And you know what? I'm actually okay that they're a great team because they might be the greatest team that the NBA, right up there with the Jordan Bulls, right? And the Cavs came back from a 3-1 deficit and beat them on their court. So it makes that championship that the Cavs won and took from them that much sweeter because no one's ever come down from 3-1.
Nope.
And they came back from 3-1 against the team that won more games than any other team ever in the regular season. And a team that, if you look at it right now, that group of three is probably, aside from the Jordan Bulls, one of the greatest playoff teams you'll ever see in the NBA. It's got to be up there with the old Celtics teams and with Jordan's Bulls and with the Popovich Spurs that had that run for a few years there with Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
It's got to be right up there with them.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. We talked last week about the NIL deals a little bit, and Nick Saban is throwing out fireballs at people. I think it was Texas A&M coach. They're going back and forth. Well, they were going back and forth. Texas A&M coach said, I have nothing to say, Nick Saban. I don't want to talk to him. I'll see him October 8th on the field.
That'll go well.
Here's the thing. Why are you crying? You've been at the top of the food chain for how long now? And because they got NILs now and other teams are starting to take players that you may want because they get better deals, now you want to cry wolf? Nick, you've been doing this for a minute, my dude. Now you mad because somebody else is doing it? Like, is that not being hypocritical, or am I just missing this?
Nick Saban's been paying players for years. Nick Saban allegedly has been paying players for years, and now everyone else can do what he has to do. And he might find out that it's not so easy to be seen as the genius, greatest coach in the history of college football or football ever if other people have similar talent to you. It's really easy to look good. I mean, look, this is where I could say the stupid thing of I could have coached Alabama to some of those national championships. Wrong. I couldn't have. But most people, I'm going to bet Luke Fickell, if you gave him those teams, and Luke looks like a good coach now, I guess, but Luke Fickell could have went out and probably won a hell of a lot of those championships, with those players that were recruited. Ultimately, is Nick Saban a great football coach? Yes. Is he a great recruiter? Yes. But he has an advantage every single time he steps out in the field. And you got to love that. Look, people talk about how great Urban Meyer is as a coach. Well, other than when he was at Bowling Green in Utah, when he was at Florida and Ohio State, Urban Meyer probably 9 times out of 10 had the more talented team on the field, and not only the more talented team on the field, the far more talented team. It was like the varsity playing the junior varsity. If they lost a game, that was the bigger problem. You're expected to win. Your job is to not screw it up. I do believe that Ryan Day is a better Saturday coach than Urban Meyer. But again, talk about how great Ryan Day is. He inherited basically a mini NFL team, a minor league NFL football team that could probably go compete or beat a lot of those USFL teams that we saw this week. Of course he should be winning. We're going to give him a lot of credit for beating Indiana? How much credit do you deserve for beating Indiana? But Nick Saban, how much credit does Nick Saban deserve for beating Jackson State? I mean, it's a real question. And he's mad now. He's mad because this is going to take away his talent advantage. He's going to have to go out-coach these guys. He's going to have to go out-scheme these guys. He's going to have to develop these guys. He's going to lose recruits to schools that he wouldn't have lost recruits from because they can make money anywhere. They don't have to come to Alabama to make money. That's it.
It's I guess you got into with Deion Sanders also, and Deion has some choice words for him. I mean, it's not an over with debate. It's going to continue, I think, because they got to play each other. October 8th, it's going down in Alabama. Alabama right now is a 14-point dog or whatever. But
Alabama's a 14-point dog?
No, Texas A&M. Sorry.
Yeah, okay,
favorite.
I was going to
say.
Sorry
about that. But didn't they beat him last year? I believe Texas A&M beat him last year in the regular season. I believe. I got to double check that. I think they did beat them last year. I think that's probably what some of the issue is.
I'm of
Is
two
that they
minds on
actually got
this
beat.
name, image, likeness thing. I know they're looking to expand it to high school, and for some reason at the high school level, I was like, I don't know, but I've thought
No,
about this more and more and more. This is America. I can go, if I'm famous, I can go make money off my image. You don't have to be 18. You don't have to be an adult to make money off of your fame, unless you're an athlete at a college or a high school. And it is ridiculous that LeBron James couldn't sign an endorsement deal when he was at St. Vincent St. Mary's. How does LeBron James signing an endorsement deal when he was at St. Vincent St. Mary's hurt St. Vincent St. Mary's? It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. You can tell me it does. You can try to tell me all this stupid stuff, but it comes down to greed. It comes down to wanting to control the revenue from high school sports and college sports and redirect it all back to the school. I can understand not paying the players, the school paying the players, because quite honestly, there's something like 18 college programs, college athletic programs that are profitable at the end of the year. So no, they can't pay these players. They can't, other than like 18 of them. But you can't give me a good reason why Justin Fields shouldn't have been allowed to go sign an endorsement deal as a college player and make money off of his name. You couldn't have told me. Johnny Manziel should have been able to sell Money Manziel beer bongs to his heart's content when he was at Texas A&M. Okay? He should have been able to sell Johnny Manziel bongs while he was at Texas A&M to his heart's content and make money off of his name. The fact that you have to wait until you're in the NFL. Hell, Kelly Holcomb made money off of barbecue sauce when he was Cleveland's backup quarterback. Why, in America, we're so afraid of the communists in America, can't a college athlete who's become famous because of his skill make money, or her skill, make money off of that name and fame? It's absurd. There's no valid reason. This is a capitalist country. You're allowed to make as much money as your skills allow you to make, as long as you do it legally, unless you play college football or college baseball or college athletes or high school sports. Then you're not allowed to make money off your name and likeness. Only the school is. BS. Complete BS.
This is my thought on that. High school, I'm totally against that all the way through. I don't think a player in high school should make more money than his principal or his superintendent. Get to college, different story. Yes, college players be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. I agree with that, but I think it should be capped. That number, I don't know what the number will be, but it shouldn't be millions and millions of dollars, because then you come into the problem where you get a kid that has a $3 million deal with somebody, and then maybe a $3 million deal with somebody else. He's making $6 million in college. And then his coach says, sit the bench. And he's like, psh, I'm richer than you. I ain't got to do nothing you tell me to do. It's not tied to the school. He's getting the outside sponsors. So at that point, if he gets cocky enough to talk back to his coach, he ain't got to do nothing his coach tells him to do. He can sit and say, I'm already getting paid. I don't need this. I don't have to listen to you anymore.
So yeah, but this is America. He never has to listen to you. This time he just has the leverage in his side to do it.
Well, I understand that, but that's messing the game up even more. This whole thing is messing the game up.
Is it messing the game up? Because if that kid doesn't want to play, there's another kid who wants to play.
We got a star quarterback out there, and you playing against School of North, and he sits out that game. Yeah, it hurts the game.
It's already happening.
But it hurts the game.
But it's already happening.
You got kids bowl games. Bowl games are different.
Yeah, but you know what? Soon, how long is it before somebody sits out one of those games because they decide that it's not going to get them to the national championship, and they don't care about the bowl game they're going to get to? And I can't blame them. I can't blame them. I'm not going to play a meaningless game that could end my career and lose. I need that money. I got a chance to make that money any other way.
So you're saying that if you got Ohio State against School of North, and School of North is, I don't know, 5-6. You're Ohio State. You were 11-0. You're not playing that game because you might get hurt.
No, I mean, it depends. Honestly, it depends. How important is the national championship to me? Because here's what I'm going to ask: if I'm a guaranteed first round NFL draft pick at quarterback, and I'm guaranteed $70 million, and I can't make it any better by playing that game against that school up north, the national championship, I mean, T, I'll put it back to you. Got $70 million in your left hand. Walk away and take it. If you walk away right now, you never play another football game, you have $70 million. What that's worth to you, your family, okay? Or, T, you can go play this football game today. And if you play well and you don't get hurt, you still got your $70 million. If you get hurt, you got nothing. You're telling me you're going to play that game. I know it's easy for you to hypothetically tell me you're going to play that game. It's $70 million, T. You can play that game.
How many players have got injured and still got drafted? Ted Ginn was drafted while he was injured and still had a hell of a career. If you already have that status up there where they're going to be that first round pick, you getting injured, it's not going to affect your money that much.
What happened to Miles Jack? I think he
depends on the injury too. Depends on the injury too.
Look, I'm going to be honest, man. If I got an agent telling me you're locked up as a first round draft pick, $70 million, national championship isn't worth $70 million, man. Because I got no chance. Here's the other thing. I got no chance to go make $70 million doing something else. I just don't.
Okay. So you can make $70 million. Okay. I got you. $7 million. I got that.
We're not talking about chump change.
What's the one thing we keep hearing about Baker Mayfield in the locker room? That they what? They don't like him.
A leader.
They don't like him.
Yeah.
They don't like him. So you get quarterback now. NFL, you're quarterback. And your football players, your linemen who can't take off games because they have to go out there and play because they don't have that glamorous position. You come up there on the team and they look at you like, oh, you're the guy that quit on this team. Okay. So how good they going to block for you now?
Baker didn't quit in his team.
I'm using the analogy you use where you quit, you don't go out there and play because you don't want to risk losing $70 million. Now you
That's in college. That's in college.
But you're going to the pros.
Yeah.
Your $70 million contract is an NFL contract, correct?
Did you quit on my team? Did you quit on me?
Your NFL contract,
did you quit on me?
$70 million you're talking about is $70 million, right?
Yeah. Did you quit on me? Did you quit on my team?
It shows character. Lack of character.
I don't know. I see. I don't think that's fair to say it shows lack of character.
It does show lack of character. It shows you give up on your team.
About that. Listen, man.
But
it's very easy. I'm just giving T.
Those linemen do. Those linemen do.
You know, hypothetically, T. Hypothetically, you get a call tomorrow from another. See, you probably can't answer this, but I don't care.
Another place of employment.
Another place of employment calls you tomorrow that's going to offer you 15% more to come leave and come work for them. You taking it?
Am I doing the same job?
Same job.
Isn't it better atmosphere? Or the same atmosphere?
Same atmosphere. 15%.
Okay.
Taking
What's your point?
Are you taking
good benefits? Good benefits?
Yeah.
I'm not quitting on nobody. Okay. You're talking about working at 9 to 5. You're talking about 9 to 5 versus the game.
And they tell you, but this is their job. This is their one chance to make money. They don't get another chance to make this money. They can make this money now between the ages of 21 and about 35, maybe less depending on position. They get it once they're done. They can never make this money again, ever. It's a limited window. Not like us. We can work till the day we die. I'll be honest with you, man. I have switched jobs where I had no problem with the job for $8,000 a year, $5,000 a year. You better bet that when we're talking about millions, and I've seen people switch jobs for that amount of money, for less money. I've seen people switch jobs for 10%. I've seen people switch jobs for 7%.
There's a reason behind that, though, where they happy with their job.
But all these people say, oh, it wouldn't be about the money for me. Yes, it would. It's about the money now. And it's not even near the same amount of money. If I multiply the money times 1 million, you're definitely switching. But you're going to tell me that you would be loyal to your employer if another employer offered you $5 million more to go. You're like, oh, I have enough money. You say that now. But it's significantly more. It's one of these easy things to say. I'd play the game. It's the right thing to do. But when it's your $70 million,
it's not about the right thing to do. It's an in-season game you're talking about.
What's more important to you? What is more important to you? The opinion of your teammates or the fact that you know that you can set up your kids for their life and your grandkids for their life if you don't play that. You don't play that game, your kids, your grandkids will never have to work again in their life. One day. Never one day in their life. Guaranteed.
70 million guaranteed.
You've got it.
So
70
I'm a rookie. I got 70 million guaranteed. I'm a rookie.
All right, you got 20 million guaranteed because you got your signing bonus. $20 million.
Wait a minute. $20 million. That's
20 million.
That's 50 million. 50 million off.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go to 20 million.
50 million off. $20 million. $20 million.
$20 million. T. Your kids. You don't
if I don't play this regular season college game.
Yes, $20 million to sit out this regular season college game. Your kids will never work a day in their life.
Right? I'm skipping the combine too.
Skipping your combine. Your kids. Your kids will never want for anything in their life. Your grandkids will never. Nope, no pro day. Your grandkids will never want for
my games I played before. My 10 games.
You're done. It's already done.
I played 10 games in college, and they're like, "We want you."
You're done.
No pro day. No combine.
$20 million.
So what if I?
What's more important? The fact that knowing that you're. Yep.
And I break my leg. So getting paid.
Signing bonus of $20 million is guaranteed. They can't take that away.
But that's it. I'm done for that.
$20 million.
I'm done for that, right?
Yeah.
So that $50 million I magically had is gone.
But it could have been there.
But it's not there no more. I hurt my ankle in the first game. I broke my leg.
But you still got $20 million. If you hurt your ankle playing college, you got nothing. I'm going to give you a check that means that you, your kids, and your grandkids will never want for a thing in their life. And you're going to tell me you're going to risk that to play one game because the opinion of your left tackle means more than your kid's future?
I'm talking about I'm talking about the alignment in the pros could look at you like, oh, you that guy. I'm talking about the pro lineman. Damn the college lineman. I'm talking about the pro lineman. I've already walked away. I've already walked away from my college guys when I say I'm not playing. Correct?
Let me tell you something.
I'm done with them already.
Let me tell you something. When I get
to the pros, how am I going to be viewed in the pros? Or does it not matter?
Okay. I'm going to say it like this. If I've got a choice to make that guarantees that my daughter and any grandchildren that I have will never want for a thing in their life, and it means that every friend I have will never talk to me again, one more word in my life, if I take that offer. And I know that my daughter and my grandchildren will never want for a thing in their life. I'm not thinking for 5 seconds.
To each his own.
But that's why I'm saying I understand that. I understand that.
I'm a competitor. I'm going out there no matter what.
And you can still go compete in the NFL.
And still.
The point of going to college was to get to the point of playing college ball was to get to the NFL, right?
But if I want to play really bad and I get that left tackle just missed that block on purpose.
How are you going to feel? All right, let me try one more thing here. Because I got to try one more thing. It's what I do.
Go ahead. Give it to me.
How are you going to feel, T, if you play that game and you suffer a knee injury that you never recover from, you don't get drafted, and you spend, the rest of your life working normal jobs, and what you could have provided for your kids and your family?
Do I have a college degree?
You have a college degree.
Okay,
but you're going to be capped at, that those millions are gone, and you're going to be capped at what
there
normal.
There are people out there with high school degrees that are millionaires.
I get it, but it was guaranteed. But it was guaranteed.
I guarantee I found a way.
You had found a way.
But I can find another way. There's other ways to get it.
Yeah.
There's other ways to get it.
If
you can also go out there in that camp, your first camp, and break your shit up too.
But you're at least going to have your guaranteed signing bonus.
You got $20 million.
Yeah.
But then you got all these families and friends trying to.
Well, that's on you to be more correct, lock that down.
See.
That's on you.
And so is playing the game.
I get it. Well, I get it. I don't agree, but I get it. Like I'm telling you, if I'm in that spot,
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
I got to take care of my family first.
And there's no reason you can't do both. If you go out there living in fear, think you're gonna get hurt, then don't play the game at all.
No, I get it.
One game. It's the last. It's not even a playoff game. The bowl games, I fully get that. I fully get the bowl games. Bowl games are like, man, why should I play the bowl game? You're still playing. You're still playing to get to that bowl game.
The bowl game that you don't care about, that's a glorified exhibition that means nothing.
Yeah, the bowl games, I don't care about player missing the bowl games, but regular season game. If you miss a regular season game because you're worried about your draft status, That's messed up. A bowl game and you're about to go to the pros, I fully understand that. I don't get mad when players skip bowl games at all. I don't get mad. That gives the younger guys a chance to shine anyway.
Yep.
Olave didn't play this year. Wilson didn't play this year. We still balled out. We saw something. We saw a future.
Yep.
No problem with that. Regular season game, play your games out, dude. Play your games out. That's why I use the scenario, the last game of the year, as a scenario which you missed that game. Not the playoffs game. Playoff games don't matter because, again, you got a 90-something man roster.
Yeah, but if it's not going to the national championship, I wouldn't be surprised you see more of that happen.
I wouldn't even get upset if guys miss the national championship game because at the end of the day, your championship goes to who? To the school.
It's true.
You can get that with you. Super Bowl ring, you get that. Yeah, that's yours. You own that. Super Bowl, I won the Super Bowl, I won. But the college national championship game, all it is a money grab for sponsors. That's all it is. That's why you have the same teams there every year. Because those are the hot teams, the teams that bring in the draw. Come on, man. How many times have we seen a team undefeated? Cincinnati got played this year. They had to literally get in there at the last second when they should have been there the whole time. They had to scratch and claw to get in there. Like, they should have been in there the meeting talking the whole time. Instead, they had to wait till the last minute to jump in. That's crazy.
What was the score of their playoff game?
Did they get blown out? I can't remember.
I think they did.
I don't recall.
So did they get played, or does it show that they shouldn't have been there the whole time and that somebody else should have been there?
I ain't saying that. They had the better record. The other team that should have been there.
Yeah, it's easy to show.
If we're going by records.
If you're going by record, and
then again, you got to factor in who they played.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
Cincinnati didn't get played. Boise State, all those years they didn't get played. There are teams that are 10-2 that are better than 12-0 teams every year.
Some of these teams that get there every year shouldn't be there. No, there's years. I'm a homer, but there's years Ohio State shouldn't be there. Who Ohio State really playing? Who's Bama really playing? You know what I mean? I say you do this. You get these teams, Ohio State, Alabama, and whoever else at the very top of the food chain, have them play each other during the season. Have Clemson, Bama, and Alabama and Ohio State play each other during the regular season. All three of them.
Yeah, of course that's not going to happen.
But why not?
Because there's no advantage to doing it.
It's a money grab.
Yeah, but there's no advantage to actually can't make as much money as you would being in the playoffs every year.
See who the best team is.
Yeah, but you're not going to make more money than being in the playoffs and the bowl games every year.
It's getting boring.
It's all about money.
I love football.
Look, it is getting boring. I agree.
It's getting boring. I'm not wrong. I love Ohio State going every year. But I get to the point, Scott, where it's like when they play in like Indiana and Purdue, and it's like
I get it. It's boring.
It's like, dude, play somebody. Give me something. Like this year, Notre Dame first game. That's better.
It's hard to get excited for a game against Northwestern.
It is so hard, bro. It's like,
hard to get.
It's like, all right, I'm done. I'm about to go putt or something.
Oh, they're playing Akron this week? Oh, great.
Yeah. It's like, come on, Akron won the game how many years?
Ultimately, but if you want to know who the best teams in the NCAA are and who they've been over the last few years, just go look at who's getting players drafted in the first and second and third rounds. There's a reason that certain schools are dominating the draft boards. There's a reason that certain schools produce more NFL players than others, more NFL starters. And that tells you where your powerhouses are. And that tells you your better teams on the field are, ultimately. You can argue it. We can say, these teams are just as good. But there's a reason why Cincinnati doesn't have as many first-round draft picks going out as Alabama, Ohio State, or Clemson every year. Because there's a big difference in talent.
Let's prove a point here. Ohio State schedule this year. Notre Dame first game. That's okay. Now that interests me because you got Notre Dame, who historically is a powerful team, and they're not bad right now. So there we go. Let's set the table early, shall we? Then you follow up with Arkansas State. I don't even know what they play at. Arkansas State. That's like a junior college somewhere. Then you got Toledo. Really?
I'm going to guess it's in Arkansas.
Toledo. So we're playing Toledo. Wisconsin, good running game. Okay. Rutgers, Michigan
Worst
State.
decision the Big Ten ever made.
I agree.
Should have never added Rutgers.
Iowa's scary. Iowa's always scary, especially at night. And that's to be determined where that game.
Yep.
Penn State, scary. So you got some scary teams at Northwestern, Indiana, Maryland, and then school up north. So it's like we got like 3 or 4 teams that's kind of scary. That's it.
I mean,
Only
that's
reason
it.
they're
That's
scary.
all Ohio State's ever been. It's been one good
I
non-conference
know.
opponent and the conference.
I know.
That's all any of it is.
It's just getting to the point where it's like I like to watch the first half and that's it.
You mean we've gotten spoiled because Ohio State's so good that we think a 2-loss season is a bad season?
Can't disagree with that either. Hate to sound like that, but you got Alabama.
We talk about a 3-loss season as if it's the worst thing in the world that can happen.
Let's go. Who got the easier schedule here? I named Ohio State's schedule. Here we go. Alabama, Utah State. Who is that? You got Texas. Then you got Louisiana Monroe. What is that? Is that like Tri-C? You got Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Texas A&M, which is going to be hot because of the whole controversy. Tennessee, nope. Mississippi State, nope. LSU, Mississippi, Austin Prey. Who is that? It's like Division 4 school. Then you got Auburn. Again, you got 2 schools here, powerhouse schools, that don't play nobody every year. What's the scariest thing on Alabama's schedule? Texas A&M, only because they talk and mess with each other. I mean, that's about it. Auburn usually gets them at the end of the year sometimes. Other than that, nothing scary there.
So, you're right. If the conference isn't better, Ohio State has the more interesting schedule. I ask you a question, T.
Yep.
How many 3-loss or more seasons since 2002 do you think Ohio State has had?
2? 3 losses or more? I don't want to go past 3.
And you are correct. It is 3. 14-0, 11-2, 8-4, 10-2, 12-1, 11-2, 10-3, 11-2, 12-1, 6-7. Luke Fickell. 12-0, 12-2, 14-1, 12-1, 11-2, 12-2, 13-1, 13-1, 7-1, 11-2.
Making money.
They have not had a 3-loss season since 2011.
Jesus. Well, on that note, let's wrap it up, buddy. Wrapping it up tonight. We'll check on the schedule next week to see if we got the actual finals going on or not. Because I think we should be done with the finals. I think Golden State's going to sweep them. I think Miami is going to take care of business also. If Miami wins this game tonight, it's over. They'll be up 3-1. They go back to Miami. I think it's Boston. But whatever the case may be. If Boston blows this lead, it's sad for them. I feel bad for Boston if they blow this league. Really do.
I think Boston still wins that series.
You do?
Yep. No, I'm not going to elaborate why. I just think Boston still wins that series.
Currently, it is 53-28 Boston going into the halftime. So
I think Boston's going to. I think they're the deeper team. I think they are the deeper team. That's why
we'll know more this Monday night. All right. For producer Lewis, Scott, I'm TJ, and we will see you guys next week.